Hey guys, it's Devoid here, back again with another edition of 13 Days of Helloween. And today, we are having a look at the Spider-Man Origins Demogoblin. Now, last year, for 13 days, I reviewed the same figure, except he was a little bit different. Not by much. He's much tighter, if that says anything. But here he is. This is basically just a repaint of this guy. Hasbro made this version, Toy Biz made this version. Both are equally, I think the Toy Biz one's a little nicer, just because he's a little bit stiffer, which is ironic for Toy Biz figures. But I did buy this guy loose. I think that one was fresh off the card. He even had a pumpkin bomb. So, looking at him, he has, of course, his glider, which is a bright neon orange, looks very sadistic for a glider. Now, we were supposed to get, I don't know if we still are or not, he was supposed to be in the next Spidey wave with Mysterio and Build-A-Figure Lizard and Prowler and all them. But I don't think he's coming out now, which kind of sucks. But they did give us a Demogoblin head with the Hobgoblin figure from the Space Knight Venom wave. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just slap that on the Hobgoblin body and just repaint it, and that's the Demogoblin, because that's pretty much what he is. Maybe not chainmail arms. Maybe not on the arms, but maybe just the regular Bucky cap arms. Just have them this color. Looking at the glider, it's got some nice shading on it. Semi-transparent or translucent. You can see there, you can see my hand behind it. It's got a fade from this little solid color to this more clear yellow to the back, or on the back. And it's got the demon head in the front there. That looks pretty cool. And we got the figure itself. I like this figure. I'm a sucker for demon characters, and this guy also happens to be a Ghost Rider villain. So now you know why I have both versions. Or why I had to get both versions. And I will say, this guy's cape is glued on, whereas the original one's cape was a separate piece that popped off constantly. So they fixed that glaring issue that I have with the original figure, which is cool. I like that. If Hasbro can one-up Toy Biz, hey, I'm willing to give props. That and this is much more pliable, and it's softer, and it's got more give to it, which is something the Toy Biz one didn't have, so I'm glad they did that. And it's glued in place. The hood, equally probably a pain in the butt to get on. It's very strange. And his tongue is just, it's so gross, I love it. I'm trying to pull a stinking hood off so you could see his Nosferatu-looking head. Because there's his hood. There's his face. So looking at his face, he's got the tongue sticking out and everything. I think his neck is a little different too. He doesn't seem to have the neck cut anymore, even though it kind of looks like he does. Maybe he does. It's just stiffer than a doornail, but I don't think he's got that anymore because his neck is like centered. And while there's the seam there, I think it's just molded in place now. Because he's got a ball joint in the head that works a little bit better than it did on the original version. But this guy has a little bit less on the paint. than that other version. So I guess that's really its only flaw, but it's still a really cool looking figure. So articulation, his head will rotate, look up and down. In fact, he'd probably even pop his head off if you really tried. I'm not going to, though. It's got a bit of that attitude going on, so you can get some tilt. His arms will move forward. I wish they took that out. I don't care for that joint in the slightest, but I guess ultimately at the end of the day he's got a cape. You can use it though, but it just looks so bad. It's good for pictures from the front, not from the side or the back. Oh really, he was going to take a picture of him from the back. You can move those back. And then he's got the swivel in the shoulder and the hinge, as well as a bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, swivel at the glove, his diaphragm moves a little bit forward and a little bit back. It is a ball joint, but it's very limited. He's got a swivel. His hips are T-jointed, so they move out. And move that far forward, far back. He's got a thigh swivel. That's the only ugly joint on the figure, but his legs look normal as opposed to having the big old balls there. Single hinge at the knee, swivel at the boot, and hinge at the foot. So that's all of his articulation, and that's pretty much all him. He did not come with a pumpkin bomb. Neither did the original version. I just got lucky and got one, so I'll probably give that to Green Goblin from the Sinister Six box set, was it? When and if I ever get that figure. Because he originally had two. I bet you I can get one with one, but not two. I will say, one of the hardest things to do with this figure is get his stinking hood on. Swear to God. This does not compute. There we go. And there he is. All of his demonic gloriness. And now we'll just attach him to his glider. Now, I think it's kind of funny they didn't give him a rocker, because that would probably help a lot with getting him on his glider. Just because of how much of a pain in the butthole it is. There we go. And I just slide mine right the crap in there. So it's locked. It ain't going nowhere. And chances are I may hang this dude up. I'm not sure, but really awesome figure. I like him about as much as I like the last one. You know, I kind of like the goblins. I'm guilty of having a crap load of goblins. I did the original Hobgoblin from Spidey Classics last year, which is actually the repaint, or the regular version of this, but no, it's the later version, the second Hobgoblin in Classics. That's the one I reviewed, and that's the one that everyone seems to lean towards. I like it a lot. I got the Green Goblin from the Onslaught Wave, and then I got these two. Those are probably the best. Well, it's not all Toy Biz because this is Hasbro, but you know what I mean. Those are probably the best ones they did outside of that Green Goblin and the, I believe it was the Sinister Six pack. I can't remember offhand, but he had like the goggles and the. He probably came with the best looking glider out of all the Green Goblin figures. But yeah, we'll have to see if Hasbro can top this dude, because it more or less be topping themselves. because this one actually has a decent amount of paint on it. It's just missing some shading on the arms and the face. So I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. I really like this figure. He just has a couple little things I wish were a little bit better, like the rockers and maybe a little bit better head movement. And this hood kind of covers up that ugly mug, which I want people to see and be scared crapless when they see it. But nonetheless. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's edition of 13 Days of Helloween. Stay tuned. Later today I'll be uploading another video about a Demogoblin figure, no doubt. And yeah, and that'll wrap up day... what are we at? 6? I believe it's day 6. So that being said, until next time, I'll catch you guys later. He totally almost fell off. Oh well.